Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Still working on my sound issues, so I'll be voicing over this one as well. But in this situation here, we have a cedar tree that's close to the house. It's kind of leaning towards the house, and I had a tree crew out limbing that did take all the limbs and the top of it off. And so it's pretty much safe and would probably clear the house, but I went ahead and secured it with a tractor bucket and just kind of secured it in the direction that I wanted it to fall. Right now I'm just sawing on the bottom of it to get it ready to go. It's a little bit challenging because there's two trees that are up against it, and so it's difficult to get in behind it and get the cuts that I needed to fall it in the direction that I wanted it to fall. Ultimately, I get it fairly close, and once I do that, then I go back to the tractor and basically slowly pull it down in the direction that we want it to go. Like I said, the mobile home is going to be gone, but we didn't want to damage it, and I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to clear. And so sped this up a little bit, but this is what's going on here. And in a moment, you'll see the tree come down. Alright, so we got the tree to where we need it to be in order to come down. And so right now I'm headed back to the tractor. I'm going to lift up the bucket and basically slowly pull the tree down in the direction that we want it to go. And it actually went pretty smoothly. Alright, so this last segment of taking the tree down, I basically go back to the camera and then carry it over to where the tree stump is, so you can get a view of just the condition of the stump and the tree itself. It did have a little bit of rot in the middle, which wasn't too comforting considering that it was leaning towards the house. But we did get it down safely, and now we're going to drag the tractor out and try to move that tree around a little bit with the backhoe. Alright, so we got the tree down, got it sawed up, at least to some degree, enough that we can pick it up with the backhoe and the thumb. This is one of my first experiences messing with the new mechanical thumb and setting up to do that. I was really looking forward to moving these logs around, and I was able to move this top piece around pretty easily once I figured out that I didn't have the thumb adjusted just perfectly. But the problem with moving the rest of it around, at least with the backhoe, was that I had all these brush piles kind of cornered me into a spot where I couldn't really grab a hold of the other pieces, so I ended up using the bucket to push it around and doing different things. But you could see here grabbing that first log, and it picks it up real easy, but the thumb, I just don't have it adjusted low enough to get a good grip. And so in a second here I'll jump off the tractor and make a quick adjustment, and then it's pretty easy to grab the log. They are cedar, so they're not super heavy, but I was pretty impressed how easy it is to pick up and move around and manipulate the logs. And obviously you could hold them up and saw them up if you wanted to, keeping them off the ground, which is kind of cool. Here I just kind of set it and push it, start it down the hill a little bit so I can grab it later on. And then I try to move into place to get to the others with the backhoe. I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't get into a good spot with the amount of brush that I had stacked in different areas. And so what I ended up doing is ended up using the bucket with the trash forks and just going in and lifting it up and pushing it onto the other side of the brush pile. And that gave me the opportunity to really get in there and move them into a pile so that we can later use them for firewood. So here you see me just, I've turned the tractor around and I'm using the trash forks in the bucket to pick up the remainder of that tree and kind of push it past the brush pile that's sitting there. And that was kind of the obstacle that between the hill and the brush piles that I had, it made it difficult to get in with the backhoe and just grab it. So I ended up pushing it and then ultimately lifting it and kind of giving it a little bit of a toss onto the other side of the brush pile. And do have a couple of buddies coming to get firewood and to utilize some of the cedar that I have. And so I was just trying to get it in piles so that they can get a hold of it, grab it, saw it. I could still lift it up with the backhoe when they get here, either load in the trailer or hold it up while they saw it. This actually worked pretty well with the trash forks, just lifting it up and kind of tossing it over the brush pile. And I kind of make my exit this way around the brush pile and go to the other side. And I really don't move this slow. I think I have it on slow-mo. But yeah, so that's just a little taste of what you can do with that backhoe thumb. And the trash fork's a good demo of that too, just moving the logs around and whatnot. And appreciate you watching. And hopefully I'll get a mic here soon and I'll make it a little better. I can narrate as it's happening.